for suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious, so I move with it.
Now, the closing portion of this lesson, I want to say something to you about communion. Do you see the word communion there? I want to read to you the paragraph just above that, and I put a square around that on my lesson sheet. You do the same. Put a square around that paragraph just above the big word communion. And I'm going to teach you good Christian folks something about communion that perhaps you have never known. Here it is. In the communion ceremony, bread represents thought, and wine represents feeling. When thought and feeling form a union concerning an idea, its manifestation results. Communion means common union. Union of thought and feeling concerning an idea. Keep your thought and feeling united in the consciousness of the answer, in the consciousness of the good that you desire. The Lord's Supper is nourishing the mind with positive thought, bread, and intoxicating the feeling nature with the good desire. Have you ever prayed for God to give you something or to do something for you, and even though you didn't see it with your physical eyes, you could feel it? That was the wine. You see, on the day of Pentecost, when the disciples were baptized with the Holy Spirit, or the Spirit of wholeness, they were drunken, but not with alcoholic wine. And they were accused of being drunk. They were full of the feeling. They were full of the God feeling. They were full of the good feeling. They were full of the healing feeling. They were full of the success feeling. And in order to be successful and prosperous, you've got to drink the wine and eat the bread. You've got to eat the bread and nourish your mind with the Word of God, the Word of good. You've got to drink the wine and get drunk with the feeling of the answer that you desire. I mean, you've got to be drunk. Back to the day of Pentecost for a moment, the Apostle Peter said, now they're not drunk as you suppose. So I didn't tell you to go out here and get a gallon of Ripple or Irish Rose. This is the wine of the Holy Spirit. You see, bread is the thought which nourishes, feeds, and sustains the mind in the good it desires. Wine is the spirit which intoxicates the mind with the feeling of fulfillment. Get full of the feeling, the spirit, the wine, I say, and fulfillment will bring fulfillment. You must become full of the bread, the thought, the Word of God, the Word of good, and drunk with the wine, the feeling of the good you desire. A drunk man believes in his fantasy. What did I say? Some of you are reading it like you don't know what I'm talking about. Some drunk men have been known to see pink elephants. I have never been a drunkard in my life, thank God. I just could not drink myself into oblivion. That's not my idea of a good time. But I have seen it. I'm thinking now of one man in my youth, you know, we used to board out in the country sometimes. And this man on Saturdays, he'd go to town and stay all day, and he'd come home riding his horse late at night, and you could hear him for miles coming down the road. And so when he'd get home, I remember he got home one Saturday night, he called his wife and said, oh, he said, my head is going 80 miles an hour and my body is going 40. So a drunk man believes in his fantasy. Over in the spiritual counterpart, a person who is drunk are intoxicated with the feeling of success and prosperity, with the feeling of the good that he desires. He too believes in his fantasy. He too believes in his vision. And the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. You must become drunk with the Holy Spirit, the feeling of wholeness. Be not drunk with wine, but rather be filled with the Spirit. Let us stand for the closing prayer of affirmation to this lesson. All right.
I like.
Peace, family. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is the Reverend Ike dropping good game on y'all. Hope y'all caught that message. Hope y'all caught that lesson right there. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God, Sincere Love, here with my lovely co-host with the baby hairs. Popping off. Nicey girl in the digital building.
Hey. What's up, everybody? Peace, blood, power, and reparations. It's nice and warm out here, y'all. I am loving it. We getting Caribbean weather out here in Cali lately. I love it.
It's nice out here too, man. Spring is definitely coming, and I think that's why my sinuses is acting up. I gotta definitely get me some. What do I use? That mist spray, whatever it is, it works. I need it.
I cannot spray that.
That's the only thing that works. That's the only thing that works. When I never had allergies until I came to Georgia. Because the pollen here is crazy. When the pollen comes, it's like everywhere. It's all over your car, like it's everywhere. And I started getting allergies when I came down here, and I didn't even know what was happening. I thought I was sick. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what was going on. I kept hearing everybody talking about the pollen and seeing the green stuff, but I didn't know what it was. I wasn't used to that.
Right.
And so once I finally figured it out, I tried everything. And the only thing that worked is that mist.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it. But yeah, I can't do it. Like I just have a problem with something in my nose. I'll take a pill.
Pills don't work. The wild honey. Everybody say get some wild honey, some local honey. I did everything. Only thing that worked, and it's crazy because it dries out your whole sinuses. Like everything, we dried out at nighttime when you're sleeping. It gets bad. Grapefruit juice, anything citrus will help with allergies. No more dairy. Yeah, that dairy is a problem.
Yeah. So do you do the black people thing where you like, and then you yank your ear because we do it like all like
all that. So yeah, it's that time of the year, but I love it. The weather is nice. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of a cold winter this year for GA. I'm used to the winters being mild. I got spoiled since I've been down here. The winters be real mild, but it was cold this year. But yeah, man. Of course, we got another episode of the Black Business Showcase coming ahead for y'all momentarily. But we are waiting for our guest to arrive shortly. Yeah. She'll be here. I'm sure she's probably over there getting cute somewhere doing her makeup.
You know how we do.
She probably over there getting cute and all that. So she'll be here. She'll be here. We was communicating, so she'll definitely be here. We're gonna chop up some game. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody, all of the viewers, all of the listeners, all of the new subscribers. We appreciate all y'all tapping in with us each and every week. You know what I'm saying? Growing with us. Y'all are our day ones. Yes. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching this live, some of y'all might be watching this on the replay. If you're watching this months or years down the line, you ain't no day one, but we appreciate you too. You know what I'm saying? But definitely shout out to all the day ones, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us and having the grace to allow us to grow right before you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We both new to this, but we gonna be true to this. You know?
Y'all know I'm from LA. I'm gangster. You new to this. I'm true to this, and I start quit walking.
Right.
There she goes.
So if you are not subscribed to this channel, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Click the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. Remember, we do the Black Business Showcase every Wednesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And on Sundays, we have our regular broadcast where we cover current events and talk about important issues pertaining to the Black community. So tap in with us, family.
Tap.
And so our guest has arrived. So let me let y'all know who we got coming on the set tonight. We got our sister Kay from Made by Kay Kitchen. And now Kay is the owner of the food and lifestyle blog Made by Kay Kitchen. She believes that the kitchen is therapy. She is a Bronx girl that teaches the importance of wellness in the Black community. Food and creativity has been an outlet to combat the cultural trauma that we often share. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our guest for the evening, Miss Kay, Made by Kay Kitchen. Welcome, family.
What's up, family? What's up? Can you guys hear me okay?
Hey.
Yep,
Yes.
you sounded good. We can see you. Hold up, you might be frozen. Yep,
Yes,
I think
right
she
there.
froze up a little bit.
Oh my God. This is my second time
Oh,
on
no.
the show.
You here?
You can hear me?
You do.
Yeah, you here.
Yeah.
Okay. My Wi-Fi is popping. I all tabs.
You
I'm
closed all
like,
the tabs.
what else y'all want from me?
What more do you want from me?
I heard all the New York in that, by the way.
Where you guys from?
LA.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Yeah. She from LA. I live down here, not Atlanta. I forgot the young girl's name. She done blew up the spot now. We can't say Atlanta no more. But I'm in Gwinnett down here in Georgia. But I'm originally from New York, upstate, Middletown, New York.
Oh, cool.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Very familiar with the Bronx. Love the Bronx. By the way, we was just talking about City Island. They just opened up a new a Black-owned spot down there in City Island. You heard about that?
I haven't. It gets crazy in City Island. It can get a little violent.
Don't do City Island like that.
Yeah,
Nah, but we know.
It's like WWE and City Island. Like, so you have to go on a day where it's like off hours, peak hours. You might get hit with a chair, but City Island is cool.
Nah,
It's a vibe. And they doing Black owned. Like, I love that. I love that 100%.
For sure. I just heard about it yesterday or today. It might have been today, earlier today. I was like, oh, cool. All right, they got a Black-owned spot out there.
I would love to do like a review because it's Made by Kay Kitchen. Listen, the food life happened to me. I didn't choose it. It was just something that, made me feel good. So I tapped into it. And there's just so many opportunities and so many lanes and ways to go down this like food avenue. And for sure, because I'm a Black woman, I'm like, I need to highlight Black people. Like, that's just been my life's work, just highlighting everyone who's doing something in the community. So when I got into the foodie world, I'm like, okay, well, it just makes sense to do things that are Black owned, within food, within the food space. So if they have that down there, give me a little drink,
Right. Exactly. We love that. And that's why you're here with us on the Black Business Showcase. And we're going to get into all that. We definitely going to get into all that because how I like to start off, I like to get into the origin story. So we would love for you to take us back to the beginning of this journey. Tell us a little bit about your background and what led you into, everything that you got going on now.
Okay.
And how food chose you, by the way. How did the food choose you?
Right. So, sometimes when it comes to what people want you to do or what people see for you, you kind of get stuck in that lane or in that box and kind of shoved over there. And so with me, I was always like, doing well in school, academics, just always known for that. Like she could do good in school, keep your head in the books type of thing. When I was young, I always liked to cook. I always liked, the idea of baking. Like as I got older, it was just more and more of an interest. And as I would kind of like put it out there, I would get a little pushback, like not in a good way. It was kind of like, that's not your lane. You ain't the baker, you ain't the cook, you the girl that do good in school, and that's that. And so as I got older, it was kind of like, well, nobody can tell me what to do. Like, I'm grown now, so I'm just gonna kind of dibble and dabble. And then, long story short, I had got fired from a job in 2015. I was 25, making really good money in the service industry. Got fired because I was supposed to get paid a certain amount. They didn't pay it to me. And once I kind of was like, like, I worked, you're supposed to pay me my coin. Once they paid me, but then they fired me. And so I was working in the food service industry. You know how that goes, the politics in the corporate world. So I said, I still kind of want to be in the food space, but like, what do I want to do? And then I started doing like chocolate covered strawberries, and like people just love them. And I'm like, wait, like, y'all want to buy it from me? And then like, like kicked off from there. But I think what's most important is like what was able to like come spiritually out of this like situation and out of this journey. It's more so, like I said in what you guys were saying earlier about me, it's a therapy, it's therapeutic, it's a peace of mind, it's a safe space. Like, the kitchen is just like, I genuinely enjoy it. I can be on a laptop for hours watching people cook and just feel at ease. I don't know if it's the woman in me, the nurturer in me, the calm in me, but I just love it. And sometimes I suffer with like imposter syndrome, because it's like, you ain't the cook, you ain't the baker, and so sometimes it's like, people looking from the outside, and it's like, oh my God, you were able to do all of this, or you have this. And to me, it's kind of like I'm happy I'm doing it, but it almost feels like, am I supposed to be here? And it's weird because I know God is giving me all the signs and giving me all the affirmations. So that's something, that I kind of struggle with, and hopefully I can process through that. But it feels good. And I think whatever feels good, that is where you belong. Like, no one can tell you different. So, just a Black woman, 31, from the Bronx, New York, and get a little crazy in the Bronx. I'll be moving down soon myself because it's a little hectic over here. But even more so too, to tap in with nature. Right? Like, there's no sun over here. Like, it's very hard to get organic produce. It's very hard. Like, if you go downtown where the money is at, where all the, wealthy people live, you can find a store on the corner that has all the organic stuff that you need, all of the organic produce and supplies and all of that stuff. But in the Bronx, it's like a needle in a haystack. And it's like, well, why is that? Like, why do I have to go to 10 supermarkets to find one organic product? Why in every supermarket around me, it's like all of these hydrogenated oils, but to find the avocado oil, I got to go 10 stores down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's tough, especially when you're learning about yourself. And I think that's what being in the kitchen has helped me with, to learn how to nurture my own body and to nurture my household. And I'm very new in it, right? Like, I wasn't raised cooking. I wasn't like, the women in my family are more like career women. So I wasn't raised, with grandma, and I would have loved that. But so it's very new to me in these last like 5-6 years, but it's something that I take pride in. So hopefully, God willing, the plan is to move to the South so I could be connected more to nature, to be around more farmers markets, and kind of start to build a life that is surrounded by this like peace journey that I'm on.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, here too, just like you, as far as the supermarkets are concerned and getting like the organic foods, we have to drive outside our city. You know
Oh,
what I
wow.
mean? So, the markets will have certain things that are organic, and I mean very small choices. You may get a organic bananas, you may get some organic onions and bell peppers, and it kind of ends there. You have to drive outside your city, outside of the hood, basically, to go and get the good foods, the healthy foods. And the thing is, it's not even more expensive to me.
Exactly.
It's not, you're actually spending too much coin to get better food that actually lasts longer because it doesn't go bad as fast and all this stuff. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I do understand this whole idea of shelf life and having things that last longer. But what about the
Mhm.
things that are organic that can last a very long time? There are certain like foods and fruits and things that if you put in your freezer, like it can last a very long time. So I feel like they kind of just count us out, and
Right.
Yeah.
like they don't care about it. Like so, let's just give them this processed stuff. And as I'm learning more about the food world, like I'm just like more and more disappointed. But it's like if there's a need, right, then you kind of got to do your part. My background, I'm an educator. I've been teaching, recently resigned, but been teaching for over 12 years, right? And
Oh,
so for,
wow.
it's like part of me as an educator is like if you see something, say something. If you need to put
Right.
Mhm.
world and put into your community, then that's your job. At least for me personally, I feel called to do that. So just going into this food space, it's no different. It's I'm learning, and so
Mhm.
I want to pass things on, but also I'm unlearning a lot of like again, I'm from the Bronx, like you know what I'm saying, like I eat chicken, you know what I'm saying, like I it's a process because we've been taught one way, and so now we have
Right.
to learn what's best for us, and now slowly apply that into your daily regimen because you're not going to change overnight. Like this is 30 years of programming, 28 years of programming, however long you've been doing it, and it's difficult. And then imagine if I'm on a journey and I've been here for 5 6 years and I'm finally starting to put in the footwork. People who not even thinking about that is like, girl, get out my
Right.
face. Like I don't know, I got time for that. So my
Right.
goal is to just continue to spread the message, and whoever receives it receives it.
Right. Right.
Right.
And just touch on the the food preservation thing. You touched on that a little bit. Our first guest on the Black Business Showcase was our sister
Yeah.
Colette, who teaches the canning method through food preservation and all that.
Mhm.
So there's also those type of options as well. What I'm saying, that people can look into as far as that. But I wanted to ask you, when you mentioned, the imposter syndrome, you know what I'm saying, and kind of feeling like, I can't even believe I'm here, that people are responding to me this way, that, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting this type of response from something that I'm not supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Do
Mhm.
you think that you internalized some of that from your childhood with people telling you to kind of stay in your lane and trying to put you in that box? Do you think
Mhm.
you internalized some of that negative talk?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when it comes from people that are very close to you and very influential or impactful in your life. When it's those
Mhm.
people, it stings a little different. And especially
Okay.
when it's the people who are supposed to guide you, right? And I speak about this often in my lives and stuff. I always talk about generational trauma and just family trauma in general. There are a lot of hurtful things that go on in the Black household, right? And
Yep.
one of those things is not encouraging children to be who they are, right? Not encouraging them to be who they are in their fullness, right? Because we are multifaceted creatures. We're not just the one girl who's doing X and that's it.
One
You know,
day. No.
like there are layers to who we are as people. So I do, or I have, right? I'm trying to be mindful or being mindful of my language. I
Mhm.
have struggled with that internal battle because of who said it, right?
Right.
But then I had to continue to remind myself, no one is greater than God. And if God called this over me, then He is the only person that matters. He is the only
Right.
person that gets to say so, right? Follow your spirit, God. Follow what feels good, right? And that's all that you need. But I will say that I have internalized it in the past, and it makes me feel like I have to prove something a little bit harder
Mhm.
than average, right? Like,
Okay.
and the reality of that is that no matter how hard you go or not, and I've learned this in the more recent times, no matter how successful you are, no matter what you're doing, you're never going to be enough for people that don't want you to be enough. Like
Right.
it's something within them, and it has nothing to do with you, right? And so although I know that, like I'm able to articulate that, it's that unlearning, because of
Right.
that you have with those people and growing up your entire life under that narrative, right? And then now having to break out of 20 to 25 years of a certain narrative, it is for sure a process. I'm aware of it, and I'm happy that I can identify it, because that's the first part of getting rid of all of that negativity and self-talk that I have internalized in the past. And it's a little unfortunate, because the people around you, you do want to make them happy. And in healthy households, see people supporting, each other when it is healthy, right? And so sometimes I've been doing really well with kind of like not letting things bother me, and I've been like, you know what, F you, I'm on my ish, I'm on my journey. I ain't got time for anybody in the way. And then sometimes I'll watch a show and I'll see certain relationships like that I don't have. I have the blood relationship, but I don't have the bond or the dynamic. And sometimes that's a trigger for me if I'm watching it on TV or something. It's like, damn, like I wish I had that, or I wish they believed in me this way. But I'm learning, like, you have to build your family. You have to build your tribe. You have to build the people that mean, something to you. And just because people are blood related to you doesn't mean that they're supposed to be people to carry you through, this journey that you're on. So it's a process, but I think I'm on the healthier side of the process now. And just getting through it day by day.
Yeah, definitely. You on the journey, and you spitting some cold hard facts. You know what I'm saying? Because we dealing with that, especially as children. And like you said, these are, close loved ones to us. We don't even really view it as a form of abuse that it actually is. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a form of abuse.
Yep.
But at the same time, I think I developed on my journey too. I think I developed the understanding that it wasn't intentional either. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't necessarily have the tools. They gave you the best that they had. You know what I'm saying? This was what they knew how to do. This is all that they had to give you. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's part of the healing process too, when you develop that understanding, because then you don't have that resentment. You don't have that bitterness about it. You know what I'm saying? You could just accept it for what it is, take the tools that you have now and carry on. You know what I'm saying?
Like with that, right? I struggle with that too, because like I have a couples therapist. Me and my fiance, we go to couples therapy, and they thank you, and they always talk about releasing the past and forgiveness. And so something I have yet to hear for like an answer for, what if it's not the past, right? Because in my experience, I've voiced that X hurts my feelings, or X makes me, feel a type of way, or when you do this, it's a disrespect to, XYZ, right? What happens when you voice that, right? And yes, they may not have the tools currently still to process that, but they heard you, right? Whether they could process it or not, they heard you, and they continue the behavior. And that's been my experience, where like it is intentional. Once I tell you that something bothers me and you continue to do it, it is now intentional. Prior to that, I probably would have given the past, like, okay, whatever. Maybe they didn't know, or maybe they didn't even know that it affected me this deeply. But once, like, and I'm very vocal. So once I spit it out and I tell you and I give you a mouthful about how I'm deeply hurt by this, and it's still a joke to you, or it's still a way for you to, or some type of center of conversation to be negative in regards to my dreams or my passions or whatever I'm doing, it's very hard for me to not see that as an attack, or not see that as disrespect. Like, after I've been very vocal multiple times and you continue to do it. And I know personally, I kind of understand within my dynamic and my relatives why it is the way that it is. It's a trickle down effect. It starts from up and kind of goes. So I understand it. So sometimes I have heard the whole, the doing the best that they can. I feel like I've heard that so many times, right? But I don't necessarily believe it now. In the past, maybe. In the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, when when it wasn't okay to talk about these things, when children weren't being expressive. But our generation and the generation after ours, we're very vocal. We're very expressive. We tell it how it is. We let our parents, our grandparents, our siblings, our cousins, we let people know when they got us effed up, right? So what you do with that information is it determines who you are, like in your character. Because if somebody tells me that I'm disrespecting them, then I have to now look into myself, like whether I meant to do it or not, something I'm doing is leaving a very negative impact on someone. And if I care, right? If I love you, if I care, because love is action, then I need to look inside myself to make sure that I'm not leaving that impact on that person anymore. And like I said, I do understand that some people may not have the tools to do all that. But we grown. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we're grown. So find the tools. You find the tools to do the other stuff that you want to do. So find the tools to heal and do better by people. So I'm kind of like with the zero tolerance, thing now, because it's like,
that's good.
people will try to F you over, and they know when they get under your skin. So they're gonna keep doing it. Yeah, no, I don't got no tolerance for you, and we're not forgiving. Like I'm just gonna forget about all that negative energy, and you just stay about my space, and I'll stay about yours.
Right,
And
right.
that was your piece.
We definitely getting this therapy on tonight's episode, and I kind of want to stay here for a minute because I rock with what you're saying. If you notice, I didn't say the word forgiveness because to me that is definitely optional and kind of circumstantial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know people say, the forgiveness is for you. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's just really developing an understanding. So now you know where you stand with, X person or Y person or whatever the case may be, and you know how to deal with them accordingly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that part is for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said, when a person is when a person is being intentional, especially after the conversation was already had, feelings was already expressed and all of that. And so to me, it sounds like, that would be like rooted in some form of jealousy because, you're a reflection of what they're not. Your growth and all of that is bothering them because you're not afraid to embrace your natural gifts and your natural talents and to do the work that you're doing on yourself internally to bring about whatever form of success. And this person is still stuck, not dealing with those issues. You know what I'm saying? Hasn't surpassed those childhood traumas. So then it's like a form of jealousy and wanting to keep you where they're at because they don't want to do the work. So how dare you do the work? You're supposed to be here with me. You know what I'm saying?
And some people also think that being an entrepreneur is easy. To me, choosing to be an entrepreneur and working for yourself and building your brand is a lot of work, and that's taking a huge step. You could definitely take what we would say the comfortable way and work in corporate America, get a job, wait for your weekly or every biweekly paycheck. But what you're doing is building something for yourself and being your own boss. And I think a lot of people are actually uncomfortable with that part, right?
Yeah.
How did she do it? I see her building this, and instead of me congratulating her and saying, what I'm saying, and asking how maybe I can be of assistance, or just again showing, I see you, sis, I see you, cousin, whatever the case it may be, and I'm proud of you. People look at that and probably internalize it, like, why didn't I think of this? I could have did the same thing. And you still can. My thing is, you still can. You know what I mean? So you have to look at it as a threat sometimes.
Yeah. And it's nothing stopping like anyone from tapping into their gifts. And I think like I made something my responsibility, which I wouldn't say I wish that I haven't done it, but I know that I'm going to reel back from doing that. I always felt like it was my responsibility to bring people with me, right? Like, let me show you that you could do it just like me. You don't got to hate on me. You don't got to, I'm not different. We the same. Like, look, you could do it too. Like, oh, you just got to call this person. You just got to do this. I could teach you. Like, I genuinely had this like really like childlike spirit to like uplift people. And it like they don't want to. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like they do not want to. I had friends that I'm no longer friends with. And I remember like hearing throughout the years, people that I've known since I was 5, 6, 7 years old, like hearing throughout the, oh yeah, because she gonna be this one day, or like you already know she's the superstar, or she's the this and she's, and at first like it will come off like as a compliment, right? Like, oh, she's my this, and this is what she's doing. She's so great. But then when they're having a moment, it's like, oh, who you think you are? And it's like, wait. How is it that you're so proud, but now it's hoodoo? I literally named my first YouTube channel, like when I first started YouTube, This Ain't the Kaya Show. So my abbreviation is K, but my name is Kaya. And I put that out there, This Ain't the Kaya Show, because I was told in times that I was trying to express just my creative energy, like, oh, what do you think this is? This is not the Kaya Show. Like so many times, right? And it's like it's nothing I can do for you. If me trying to help you ain't working, if me leading by example ain't working, then there's nothing that I can do for you. If you want to be miserable in a corner and think that someone has some supernatural gifts, we are human. I believe like you, baby. It's like it, like literally, like unless you have some type of medical disability, you literally have all of this. And even the people with the disabilities is putting themselves out there and not having any excuses and going out and being the best that they can be.
That's a whole
So it's
fact.
like, what is the excuse? Your excuse is that you are traumatized emotionally and your emotions take over your judgment. And sometimes people's spirit rubs your spirit the wrong way because it's a reflection, like you said earlier, for you to tap into yours. But because you're not courageous enough, right, to take that step, because you're overly critical of everyone else, because people are overly critical of you, it's this toxic cycle.
Or is it a fear of being left behind?
Yeah,
Do they feel like you're leaving them behind? It could be that. She's going to get to this level and I'm still here.
yeah,
But everybody has a choice in life. Again, as you did, you tapped into your gift. Everyone, God has given us all a gift, whatever that may be, right? But they can tap into their gift and whatever they choose to do in the corporate world. That doesn't make you, beneath me because I
Mhm.
chose this way, right?
yeah,
Let's be supportive of each other or not,
yeah,
or not.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's also an option too.
And
absolutely.
I think also another reason why certain people don't want to do the work on themselves internally is because that comes with a new
Accountability.
responsibility. It
Yeah,
comes with a new set of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to operate differently. You have to forgive your old self. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You have to become this whole reinvention, which, listening to you, I'm hearing the reinvention. And I want to know more about that. Like when did it go from Kaya to K?
mm.
Mhm.
Oh, that's, I didn't know I was gonna get emotional real quick.
I
Because
thought I was the crybaby.
like no one has ever asked me, like has ever asked me that, and I know when it happened, but it's like the fact that you can hear it and then kind of just like articulate that means a lot. I appreciate that. My younger brother passed in 2010. I was 20, he was thank you.
You was
And
20, he was what?
I was 20, he was 18. So we was like
Okay.
right there, like
Oh yeah.
freaking frat, right? And I remember like even prior to him passing away, I always knew from when I was young, I'm like, I want to be successful. I see people on TV and the word I used was rich, right? Like, oh, they got a pool in the back, they got this, they got that. Like, I want that. I don't know why we're here, right? Like I literally was like a little 6-year-old, like, why are we here? We need to be where the pool and the sun is at. Like, hello, get on a plane, let's do something. And I slowly started to see that, like, no, I quickly started to see that like your life and the life that you seeing on TV, those are two different things. And so I said, well, if that person is a human being and I'm a human being, then why can't I have that? And from a very early age, I always knew that I wanted more, right? And so when my brother had passed, I'm like, you don't have the time to waste. Like you, like if this is not a wake-up call that like anything can happen at any given time. It's like I don't know what else. And then I kind of felt guilty too, because being from the hood, being from the Bronx, New York, having nephews, having a little brother, it was like, oh, I'm gonna be the one to get rich and I'm gonna move everybody out, right? And I used to say this from a little girl. And then when he don't make it out, that's not my child, but I that guilt because that was something that I aligned myself to do. And so it's like, baby, get on your ball. You understand? Like, all right, this happened. Let's get to the next level. And so I said, I need to reinvent myself. I said, I need to create a foundation and I need to start to build on that. So KL, right? Those are my initials. That's KAYELLE. I spelled it out and I'm like, this girl is gonna be the girl, right? And I never wanted to be in front of the camera. I just wanted to be the brains of the operation. And I realized like no one is going to take direction from you the way that you're going to take direction from you. There's always going to be some type of extra step when you're working with someone else. But if you're trying to get to the next level and God has blessed you with all the things that you would put into another person, then why not put that into yourself, right? So I started slow, bartending, photography, getting headshots and doing all these things to kind of just like tap into like my creative nature and start to put myself out there and see what kind of gravitates towards me. And then I kind of got like a over these last, I would say like 5-6 years, like a real like reality check about what it really takes to be successful, right? Like what it looks like it takes. Like I'm happy I got on the ball, but what it really actually takes, and I'm so grateful and blessed to understand what it takes now, because now I can put in like that real work. I spent a lot of time in my 20s hoping that someone would help me. Like I spent a lot of time just like thinking like, okay, if I put my best foot forward, someone is gonna give me the game. Hell no. Like when they see you putting your best foot forward, they almost want to like stop that. Like it's like, oh no. So I literally know people like your biggest stars. I went to school with Cardi, right? That's one. I have people that's connected to 10, 12, 13 Grammy award winning, like literally like this person, the Grammy winner, this like, and so many different people, rap stars, R&B stars, like actresses, people that know people, and I've always been connected to them. A lot of these people work with them behind the scenes. I've reached out. I tapped in. Hey, a young spirit. Hey, can I work with you? Can I do this? Can and it was just kind of like And so I had to say to myself, I said, girl, people don't F with you unless you lit. So go like go do whatever it takes. You know what you need to do. And I'm a little like it's like I'm kind of scared of myself. It's like you know what it takes. Nobody's gonna help you. They're not. And watching the Kanye documentary, right? This man is Grammy nominated, signed to the label, and still begging. You understand? He was in the building and still couldn't get the attention of the people that could turn him around. And what I've learned in my process and what that documentary confirmed is that you have to do it for yourself. Like nobody's gonna pick you up and just lullaby you to the top. It doesn't work like that. And even if somebody did take your hand, there's still going to be a series of things and a process that you have to go through on your own. So I literally said to myself, every year you get better. Every year you set an intention for yourself, for your brand, for what you want for yourself as a whole, as an entity. And every year you get better. And I had to say to myself, nothing is going to happen overnight. People probably look at me now, oh, like a lot of stuff is happening for you lately. And it's like, no, like 2010 is when I took myself seriously. Like, and that's what, 12 years ago.
Right.
So if tomorrow you see me on Power Book 2, producing a documentary and they pop, it's because it took 12, 13, 14 years of this process and building the best me up, but also like paying attention that like nobody is gonna come and save you. You literally have to save yourself. So that the real reinvention was that victim me, that past me, that me that looked for validation, that wanted to be held, that wanted to be liked, that wanted to be loved, and like the me now where it's like I'm gonna get it whether you like it or not. I'm gonna get it whether you care or not. Like, and it's such a freeing feeling. To know that, like, God has blessed me with this fire that's not going to be put out until He says so.
Right. And also because you're grinding how you grinding, and because you're giving it to yourself, no one is giving it to you, then no one has the power to take it away from you.
Amen.
No one can take credit for you, right? You did that.
Amen.
Good point. Good point. And I just want to say, just listening to that, I just want to say that, I'm just grateful for how spirit or the ancestors or whatever it is guiding this show, right? Because in the beginning we started off with that clip from Reverend Ike. I don't know if you heard it. You came in like probably in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? But everything that you was just talking about, it coincides with the message that he was delivering in that clip. You know what I'm saying? Because he's talking about communion, and he's talking about how the bread was the thought and the wine was the emotions, the spirit. And he said you got to get drunk with those emotions in order to realize anything that you're trying to manifest. You have to believe that. You have to believe it like a drunk person that's having illusions. They really believe that experience that they have and while they're intoxicated is reality. You have to internalize your dreams that way and be drunk so much from it that nobody could tell you that this is not real. That's not who you are, that this is not going to happen. And that's what I hear coming out of you. So I'm like, wow, it's crazy how that lined up. There's no way you could plan that.
Right. Yeah. Because it's within me. I swear it's been in me since a little girl. And I'm so grateful that like I'm tapped in. Like I'm so grateful that I can identify like my purpose, because I didn't understand that was something so difficult for people to do. I didn't know, right? I just thought everybody knew what they were supposed to be doing for themselves. I don't have like a clear vision. Food may be just one layer of it. You know what I'm saying? This is not all be all, but to know that like you're guided and that you're going to, like, I feel it in my soul, in my being, like, and I can't explain it to people. And I think that's why I've come across so much opposition and so much negativity, because this energy, like, even when I try to like dumb it down, right, which I'm not doing anymore. I went on a rant in my story about that as well. To make people like no, I'm not doing too much, like, come on, like let's like you said, like, people are afraid that you're leaving on the train, so I'm stopping the train, my foot is in between the door, like, come on guys, but they never wanted to get on the train in the first place, right? Like, I never wanted to. So like with me, it's like it's this energy that, like, unless it's in its full form, I don't feel like myself. And I am so just grateful for that. Like, whatever that is, like that spirit God, and I know it's God. I know it's my spirit. I know it's my ancestors. I know they got a hold on my life, and it's like, baby. Like, this girl is going,
and this
like,
is for you.
Right. Like they're not playing, like older people. I have an old soul. From when I was young, my mom told me this story how my first grade, well, kindergarten and first grade teacher, the same lady, Miss Harris, don't know if she's alive. Hopefully she is. She told my mom and dad, like, this girl's very, very special. Like, and so when my mom, like, she would tell me stuff like that, but like I said, it wasn't encouraged or nurtured in a way that I think that I would nurture someone with any gift, right? Whether it's basketball, poetry, drawing, whatever it is, right? When someone has gifts, especially when that people can identify, those gifts don't help just them. It helps everyone around them, right? It amplifies everything around them, right? And so I don't know if maybe my parents had the capacity to amplify it in that moment. I was born in 1990s. That's right after the crack era. You understand? Like, so it was difficult, and so I'm never holding that, against them. But I will say, like, I'm grateful that now so many people are able to be vocal about being spirit led and having these gifts, because we're in a time now where it's okay to nurture them. It's okay to speak about them. It's okay to share them. People, more and more people are like, oh, let me help you. Let me help you. Like, we are finally coming into this like like, I'm like, whoa, this my people. Like, I'm like, BWO and all. It's like, oh my God, it's like 100 me's. Like, it's like, oh my God, everybody is, we like, and it just feels like so safe. And it just feels so powerful to know that, like, yo, like, we are blessed and we are gifted, but not only that, we are helping and we are interacting, we are exchanging, and that makes it even more powerful, because we are all just a little blip of what it's supposed to be. So the fact that just even the internet has connected us, like, it's just been so powerful. And I do pray for the people who do have a hard time tapping into themselves, that one day they can, right? Because that understanding of who you are as a person, I think that that's the only freedom that you'll ever experience in life. Other than that, you will forever be tied to what people say you are and tied to what people want you to be.
Right, people's opinions of you and what you should do. And I think it's a part of just the way we were raised, kind of as Black people. I tell the viewers and Sincere as well, I wasn't raised to be an entrepreneur. It's not something that's really been pushed ever in my
Yeah.
family. So we were
Yeah.
taught to go to school and get a job, right? And so to come onto these spaces now and talk to people like yourself and our other past guests is really refreshing to me, to hear the stories. And then you know that there's something in you, even me, right? And hearing you guys' stories making me honestly tap in a lot and I'm removing the layers and the fears that I'm having to put myself out there more. Being on this show is a lot for me, but it is definitely, I realize even more now. I knew they were there, but just hearing other people's stories, like, you have a gift. It's just this voice. You have a gift. You have a gift. Step outside of yourself and share
Yeah.
your gift. So
Yes.
I'm getting there. And again, you have inspired me also, with your story. You need to write this stuff down. There's a
Yeah.
book. There's some more
It's
that you need to share with us. You have a story.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of the more impactful episodes of the
Yes,
Black Business Showcase for
yes,
sure. I know
yes.
people are going to get
Such
a
a
lot of
story,
value out of
man.
this conversation. But also, reading your bio when I first read, using food as therapy, I was looking at it like helping other people, but I'm seeing how much it has helped you
yeah.
personally. You know what I'm saying? But talk about the other side of it. Like, how do you use food, to deal with the trauma that goes on in the communities, like it's like you said?
So when, like, food brings everybody together,
Sure
right?
do.
It's such an easy vehicle, right? And so that's, like, I remember saying earlier, um, knowing what it takes to be successful, right? You have to find a vehicle that speaks to everyone, because people are not going to gravitate to you because they don't know you yet, right? So it just so happened that, like, I liked and enjoyed, cupcakes and baking and this, that, and the third. But then something clicked and was just like, no, no, no. Like, it's bigger than what you think. Like, it's so effortless to go viral with food because everybody is hungry, right? Like, that's one of the vehicles that and even like this lady who I was doing some marketing with my YouTube channel, some advertising. She was just like, she's like, you got the couples thing, and like people, they like that, but the food, she's like, a lot of the numbers do well with food. So I really wasn't paying. This is before Made by K Kitchen was a food blog. This is when I thought I wanted to sell stuff, right? And then I'm just like, okay, you know, and it was something that was in my mind. Then I'm just like, wait, like food is the link. Like it is something that is just connecting, like it's connecting the dots consistently. And I don't know if your glasses is like, girl, like it's connecting, like use that. I don't know, something told me one day, use that. And so I'm like, okay, cool, it's the medium, right? And so I'm like, all right, well, how can I get creative with it? Like that's what I love, right? As an educator, it's like, all right, now how do I get creative with that? And that was it was just so easy. So I started a competition series called Lit Black Foodie, right? And so my goal with Lit Black Foodie, one was to get Black chefs paid and to get Black chefs highlighted. Like that's my goal. I love helping people. I love to put opportunities into the universe that I wish people put into the universe for me. Like that is my goal. Like I'm not waiting. And I was gonna put something like that on my Instagram, and I probably will on Twitter and then repost it. I'm not waiting for y'all to give me an opportunity. If I have the capacity to give the opportunity to myself, if I have the capacity to pick up the phone and people enjoy my conversation and we can form relationships and they can help me and therefore I can help a group of people, that's a blessing. That is a gift. Use your gift. Like I'm not going to give you this gift for nothing. Use your gift, right? You don't have something, find it. You have all that you need. Find what you need. And so I realized, like, no. You have a gift with bringing people together. So use the food to bring people together. Use the food to highlight people. And just hearing so many chef stories and so many, like why they started cooking, how they started cooking, the vegan stories, and everyone who's learning about their bodies and what, you know, just consciousness, not even perfection, just consciousness of like, it's so necessary, and it just goes, it works, it goes. And so I'm just constantly figuring out what event can I do, what's next, because people are always going to come out, right? I did the One Design Mastermind, which I taught people about business, the behind the scenes with business marketing, all that good stuff. But we also broke bread over some food and over some wine, and we talked and we laughed. Like that is the essence. Like it's what we've been doing in Africa for hundreds of years. We break bread, we sit down as a family, we eat, that is what we do. You understand? It's a reason why the restaurant industry is $1 trillion industry. It's a reason why food is it is a space that has to happen, right? So why not use my talents and my gifts to bring some value into those spaces, right? It is value when we just talking, but it's like if you got something to bring and maybe they got something to bring, and then maybe they got something to bring, it's always going to be a powerhouse. Always. Oh, food? Like, and I'm just like, well, maybe that's why God gave me this interest in food. Maybe he knew that I needed a vehicle to have my light shine through. And I'm getting chills even thinking about that, because I never even came to that understanding. You know, and it's like, woo, getting chills, but whatever it takes. So God said, here's food, here's some gifts, put it together, baby girl, and figure it out, right? And you're doing it. Yeah, and God is good. Like, so just leading me, like, and I'll keep showing up. Just keep guiding me. I'll keep showing up. So it's been a blessing in the community. We were able to give a Black chef, $1,500 as a grant. There's people who, like, companies that's not even doing that they're scared to even, I don't know why. I was watching some Instagram video of like this couple, and they was like, we're doing a giveaway. Like they were cooking. They're like, we're doing a giveaway, a rich couple. You know what they gave away? They gave away a goddamn mug, a And so it was a mug that came from a juicer, right? And the juicer is like $3,000 juicer, right? Some real fancy cold pressed juicer, which is very beneficial for anybody because cold pressed juices are extremely healthy. Y'all are rich. Y'all could have gave away one of the juicers. $3,000 write-off. It's a tax write-off for you. You gave away a But I realized nobody's gonna help you. Help yourself. You do it then. You know, and so I said to myself, baby steps, right? Do what's in your capacity. You know, don't harm yourself because I don't think God wants you to harm yourself in the process of helping others. Do what's in your nature. Do what feels good. And so far, it's just really been a blessing to not only inspire people, but like you were saying earlier, like people inspire me like just as much as I inspire them. Like I know I'm loud and so people probably like, oh, she's inspiring, but it's like every story has some magic in it. Every story has something beautiful in it, and having these events, you know, and not to just be emotional, but it's just like, damn, like we needed each other. We needed to be together. We needed to come together, and it feels so damn good. We are building again from scratch. I think we're in like history. This is really history for us as a people. And we're gonna be talking to our grandkids like, well, what was you doing in 2020 when the revolution was happening? You know what I'm saying? And so just having a story to tell, no matter what the capacity is just, it's beautiful. And I just want to continue to do my part to listen to people, not just be the person always talking, but being in spaces where I can hear people too. It means so much to me. So much.
What's going on, Ricardo? And anybody that's just joining, we are chopping it up with Kay from Made by Kay Kitchen. We getting all up in her Black business, and this has turned into a real powerful therapy session for all of us. You know what I'm saying? But just to you know, get on a bit of a lighter note. Do you have a specialty in the kitchen? Like, do you have a favorite thing that you like to make or that people respond to the most? People always asking for?
My cherry cheesecake.
Cherry cheesecake. Okay. Okay.
It's not even my favorite thing to eat, but it's just always a hit. Like always a hit. My favorite thing to make and eat for myself is just a butter cake with buttercream icing. Like that's just classic. Butter, like it's just
let me tell y'all.
Butter's better, baby.
Right. Yes, it is. Black people love butter and everything. So Sincere and I actually had a debate on
shit.
Sunday. And so we saved this. We literally saved this for you. So baked spaghetti, right? You know how Black people make their baked spaghetti with the cheese on top, right?
Don't try to act like that's just standard for Black people.
Or ziti.
Like,
what do I like?
No, that wasn't really the debate. That wasn't really the debate. So let me tell you. So, I was just saying that I had made some baked ziti one night, and she didn't know what that was. She was like, "What the hell is that?" And so I was explaining. You know what I'm saying? I told her how I make it, and she was like, "Well, that's spaghetti." But I was like, "But you don't put spaghetti in the oven." And she was like, "What? You eating white people spaghetti?" So how do Black people make spaghetti? That's what we want to know.
So
she told me, I'm eating white people spaghetti.
Now I think it depends on what state you're in, right? Certain states, Black people bake their spaghetti, right? And I didn't really know that because from New York, we don't. Right. Like they bake their spaghetti. I think Coyle Ray, she did it and it went viral. And people were like, "What you doing?" Half of the comments was like, "This is how it goes," and the other half was like, "What you doing, sis?" But I just think that different states and it's just different traditions. I know Big Ziti, right? But I
from New York though.
I need y'all to weigh in the comments as well. Let us know where you're from and how you make spaghetti. Do you put it all in the same pot with the noodles and put it in the oven, or do you have the sauce separate from the noodles and serve it on top? Let us know in the comment section how y'all get down with the spaghetti.
My mama just had one big pot and it was just like
Now, where's your family from?
they from the South, but everybody's in New York. So like
Okay.
my great grandparents was from the South. My grandmother was from the South, Kershaw, South Carolina. Came up, to Harlem and now lives in the Bronx. I think everybody kind of migrated from the South to Harlem during the Harlem Renaissance.
Mhm.
But they make spaghetti in one pot, right? Then it's certain people I've been to,
Boom.
and they keep it separate. So, but they don't bake it though. Like the spaghetti we eat is all in one pot, but it's not baked. Like it's like just
Yeah.
spaghetti in a pot.
Okay.
Like baked ziti we bake. Like, but that's like more Italian. But baked ziti we for sure put it in a thing.
Definitely.
Don't get me to lying. They both good.
They both good.
They both
You
good.
know, I don't know what ziti
I eat a
is,
lot of
but I've
pasta.
probably had it. I'm sure I've had ziti at this point. I think I've had it, but when I say in my household I'm making spaghetti, it's always baked.
And you
Always.
said
No,
and you said it's gonna be some
remember
fried fish with it too.
you're gonna have some fried fish or some fried chicken, a salad, and garlic bread.
Mhm. 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 I see. We know
Now
that.
that's very southern, right? That's very southern.
Absolutely. Fried chicken and spaghetti was a staple in the house. Fried fish and
Yeah.
spaghetti was a staple in the house. I think the only difference is that we didn't put it in the oven. But I've had like spaghetti that you put in the oven. It's smacking. I don't know why. I think
Man,
it's
I
so
don't doubt it. I don't doubt that it's good. I just was like, huh? My
smacking.
oven?
it be hit. OD.
Man. All right. All right. Who you calling white? You a one? Because if you the one, I think you. Oh no, that wasn't her. That wasn't her. I was about to say. I thought she put mustard in her spaghetti sauce, but no, that wasn't
Oh Lord.
her.
Mean baked ziti though. Like I make a mean ziti. I make a mean chicken ziti, a mean beef ziti, turkey ziti. But like we the new age like people
I do
like
mine with turkey.
yeah, like I be cutting up the kebab sausage and
Right.
you
Right.
gotta make it a little extra with the little
Now make
garlic
it clear.
bread.
I wonder if my
You
sister's
baked
still in here.
spaghetti.
My sister ain't say nothing. My sister is the cook in my family. She wasn't here, but I think she bounced.
I said no fish.
Let me
They
see.
are
One of the best was Italian. So let me see. One of the best was Italian. So I ate it. Okay, no doubt. I think from Queens, New Jersey, but my family's all from North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. We definitely mix everything in one pot: baked ziti, eggplant, parmesan, lasagna, all that. Okay. So yeah,
Fried
you're
chicken
right.
is
It's a
always
regional thing.
good.
It's a
It's
regional thing at
regional,
the end of the
totally.
day.
for sure. But they all smack. So as long as you know how to cook, I'm eating it all. Okay?
It's all in the seasoning.
Yeah.
It's all in the seasoning.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I feel like certain people, like you just can't mess it up. Like you just could feel when something is perfect. I don't know if I'm. And mind you, I never went to no fancy like culinary school. No, the school of myself
So
in the
far.
kitchen. Like yeah, like that's what that was. But I feel like when you black, you just know. Like I feel bad for people who black and don't know how to cook. It's like being black and not knowing how to dance. Like it's just I feel bad. Like why you don't know how to
Yeah,
do
yeah, right, right. And
You know what, buddy?
do you take your
I'm
own
sorry.
pictures and stuff?
that? Yes. Yep.
Because yeah, let me show this because your stuff is mad pretty. You know what I mean? I think it's a real reflection of you
Thank you.
for sure. Because I'll be looking at your page, I'll be like, damn.
And you know what's so crazy? I
I've
really be
already made one of her cakes.
Oh yeah, you did, right? You made that pound cake.
I made one of her cakes. Yep, I did the pound cake already.
yes. And I have to I feel like I gotta redeem myself because that cake was so good. But I said I want to try it from scratch as well and throw up a scratch
Yeah.
recipe. Yeah. Yep, I take all those pictures.
The one I made this weekend was from scratch, but I did one a few weeks ago from that was yours. So I try. I like to bake, to be honest.
Mm,
And I have my kid be like, "Can you bake something? Make some cookies?" Blah blah blah. And so because yours was kind of the quicker way, a few
yeah.
weeks ago I did yours, but Sunday or Saturday I did homemade pound cake, butter pound cake.
And when these recipes, like again, these is not no 20-year-old recipes. This is like, oh, this came out good. Let me do it again. Oh, it came out good again. One more time. Oh, it's good again. Yep, it's going up. Like that's literally what I do. Ooh, the garlic bread. If you on that,
Man,
All
that
this.
French
click on
toast.
that one. Sincere, click on the garlic bread one because that is ZD like on that
Oh,
one.
word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just imagine.
I don't want to play the music though.
Yep. So that first little clip, that's how we make the baked ziti. Ooh, it was so good too.
Oh,
That's
and the cheesecake. Oh man.
yeah, that's my friend's.
Back on that cherry cheesecake.
Yep. So it was good. It was good.
Man. So yeah, you about to knock juniors out the box with that cherry cheesecake.
Right.
Man, what's so crazy? Like no shade, but a lot of these known people, they stuff don't even be all that good. I think it's popular.
You right.
They got the money to do the advertisement, and but why you think when our non-black counterparts, when they taste our food, they be like, oh my gosh, I've never had this.
Right.
It's because $500,000 to open up a store and do advertisement for 2 years so that you can actually try their stuff. So that's why I'm happy with social media now, that like we're able to put ourselves on the map and be self-sufficient. So
What's the one I made?
it was so buttery too.
And
And I
and moist.
like I've tried Junior's cheesecake, but it's like okay, it's okay. Like, but
It's a cheesecake.
yeah, like it's a cheesecake. When I eat like food from down south though, like then I'm just like, okay, this is it. When I eat the cake, the cheesecake, there's this woman, her shop is called Make My Cake. Her mom and her, they started the business, and they have like I think 3 locations in New York. Her cake, that's where I model my buttercream cake after, because like she has like one of the best tasting buttercream cakes that I've had. And I don't know if you guys know Deja Bakes, but she was a part of
Yeah.
Her,
Shout out to Deja Bakes. I got to get her on.
yeah, Deja, that's my girl. Like she came out to the Live Black Foodie event. She competed in the competition. And when I tell you, not even because that's my girl, she had the best bite, like the pound cake, because we had sweet and savory. She had the best sweet bite of the night. Like that pound cake, like I'm waiting for her to come out with the recipe. Like I need it. I will pay her. I will do a tutorial.
I don't know. It might not be better than mine though. I
Now,
don't know. I don't know.
Pound cake boy.
Hey, I'm
My mama
just
taught
saying.
me how to make mine. You know,
I've been watching Deja
almost
Bakes.
25 years. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna give DJ. I ain't taste her stuff, but I just been watching her growth, and she do this for a living. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Nicely, do you even know what this is without reading the caption?
No.
Without reading the caption, do you even know what this is? See, that's another New York thing right there. Coquitos, man. Them coquitos.
I've never heard of it. Never heard. What is a poquito?
Ooh, it's good for your soul, girl. Like it's like a Puerto Rican eggnog without egg, basically. Some people put egg in their recipe, some people don't. I literally got the recipe off of Google and then just kept playing with it until I got what I liked and what I thought was like fire. And 1 year I made it, and this was like probably like 4 years ago, and it was just like clockwork. Everybody wanted it. I'm just like, oh, they like, you're not even Puerto Rican. I said, I know, but it's good.
Yeah, them coquitos around the holidays and all of that. Yeah, that's the wave.
Yes. Being from the Bronx.
We have one here. It's Mexican though. It looks like that, but I can't think of the name of it. I actually just text my son so he can give me the name of it. But I think it's this maybe similar. I forget the name of it though.
I know
Away from
Dominicans
our
got one. Modi Sayando is the
Yeah,
Dominican
the
kind
orange
of stuff.
in
But
the.
yeah, there's no alcohol in there, right? It's just a
I mean, you could. I went to I think this spot in New York called Mama Sushi, and they had that drink with alcohol in it. So good, so good.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
But
don't
yeah,
have
man,
Puerto Ricans
your
and
page speak
Dominicans here. We only have Mexicans
right.
in
I,
LA.
um, I love Hispanic culture.
Horchata. There you go. Horchata. That's it. That's what that looked like to me, a horchata.
I never heard of that. I never heard of that.
I haven't heard that either.
Yeah, it's Mexican.
But yeah, all that food be looking good. So yeah, your
Yes.
photography skills,
I gained
your
5 pounds
content
looking
creation
at that
in
website.
general.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it. When I say every year be better, it's like, okay, how can I level up myself this year? I said, I think it was what, this is 2022. So 2019 going into 2020, I was like, you don't have to start at the top. Just you have a platform, Instagram's your platform, turn it up on Instagram. Don't worry about YouTube. Don't worry about just you got something right here, you got people, you got attention right here, turn it up. And I went from like 3,000 followers to like 5,000 followers just from being consistent and just continuing to put myself out there and even being a part of I don't know if it's BWO or ABS, but the tribe, even
Hmm.
part of the tribe, just having that, accountability and just with the coaches and that extra push. I just in this last like 2 years, I'm like, go hard on your page. You keep talking
How
about you want followers over here, followers of why you can't even tend to the followers you got. Like turn up on the
Right.
followers you got, and so
how'd you end up getting down with the tribe?
Um, so I always tell the story about how one day I was in my bathtub crying to God, like, I need help with these men in my life. My man, like, they need to push God, and I can't do it all by myself. And I love them, but they need energy that's not me, because I'm gonna go crazy. Like
It's
you
above
can't.
me now.
Yeah, like it's
It's
about.
above me.
Like, I love them, but it's about and great people. My fiance is a great man. My nephew a great but as black men, you have these obstacles, and sometimes like I know black men get defeated. I know, and as a woman, as a black woman, it's just like I want to hold you, I want to pick you up, but I know I'm not enough by myself. We need other forces. We need the village, starting with the spirit guy, right? So I prayed in the bathtub one day, and then fast forward, probably like, I don't know, a couple days later, I see this viral video on the shade room of this guy like talking, and it was just like this group of like black men. And I'm a woman, a human, and black men looking all buff and like, who these men? Not only that, it was just also like they were all listening to like someone, right? And I've never seen that visual image, like a group of black men, probably like 12 of them, all listening to another black man, and they all look fit. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I love black men, period. Like, so just to see
Period.
excellence, I'm like, what's going on? And come to find out, in Shade Room, they always tag where the video is from. It was 19 Keys. And I've never heard of him before. I never seen his stuff. So I tapped on his page, and I'm like, okay, well, let me check this out. Fucking intelligent, right? I'm just like, oh my God, like who's this man, right? And so as I started tapping more into his page, I started to see Brother Benex. I started to see Riza Islam. I said, God, I
I see what you're doing. I see
like,
what you're doing.
I appreciate you, Lord. Like, I appreciate you, Lord. And so, like, the way my fiance, he be trying to act like he ain't into what I be doing. But he like, who that? Who
Right.
that? Where he following 19 Keys and Brother RZA and Brother Benax and everybody, which is a beautiful thing. That was the goal, right? To be inspired by that energy. And then 19 Keys that came out with a program, the Wealth Standard. And so my fiance tapped into that. And then the BWO happened shortly after. We both tapped into that. And so it was kind of like history from there. But like so many people, it's just like just being a part of this energy. Like it's just, I know that's truly ordained, because I've never been in a space with so many like-minded spirits ever, like ever. And sometimes it could feel like you're drowning when you don't have, just positive reinforcement, right? And I feel like that's what the tribe was. That's what, being on Wall Street that night, just being a part of that event. And it was just a really, really good thing. I'm kind of sad that like it dissolved the way that it did. But I am praying and for all of them, and hoping that we can continue to create spaces like that, because it's needed in more one. So that's how I got tapped in. And I'm grateful. Like I met so many.
Me too. Tribe for life, BWO, man. You know what I mean? It was definitely.
Y'all found your tribe.
Facts. Beautiful. So beautiful, man.
So what's next? What's next for K? Made by K Kitchen. You got any events coming up? Anything you want to plug? You know what I'm saying?
So I do have an announcement coming very shortly.
Is it ready? Can we? I do tell.
Well, it's gonna be on my Instagram, but I'm gonna give y'all the it's
the exclusive.
It's a body of work. So do what you will with that. It's a body of work. And it's coming very soon, and I'll be announcing that on my Instagram within the next, I would say, 7 to 10 days. It's gonna be a very, very busy next couple weeks, God willing, for myself. My birthday is April 5th, so my project is dropping on April 5th. So midnight.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about that. I also am going to be doing lit.
I think it's a cookbook, y'all. I think it's a cookbook. That's just me.
Y'all gonna have to follow me in the kitchen.
Make sure y'all
follow me your business
at Made by K Kitchen on Instagram. Make sure y'all following.
I'm so hyped. Anytime you know what I'm saying? It's like I love putting the energy out into the world, and it's a special project. So I'm very excited for it. So that's what's coming up in the near future. And then I do want to have a second Lit Black Foodie. So the first one was in the Bronx, right? We gave away $1,500. And so the second one, I was like, should we do it in the A? Should we do it in Miami? Or should we do another one in New York? And I think it's probably going to be the smartest to do another one in New York, because I have a lot of backing here. And so that's what I'm thinking in the fall time, to do a second one. And I'm hoping I could give y'all this tea to make the prize $2,500 grant as opposed to a $1,500 grant. Yes.
Yes. Let us know what we can do to contribute to make that happen for you too. You know what I'm saying? Us, our viewers, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for. Absolutely. You know what I mean? We building up each other, supporting Black businesses. So
yes, we do have a GoFundMe for Lit Black Foodie. GoFundMe.com/Lit Black Foodie. So at any time you guys could donate. Or if you know anyone who is in the financial position and is looking for someone to give back to, especially the black community, for sure.
Black.
Yeah, like for sure, because we paid the $1,500 out of our pocket, like out of our pocket last year. It wasn't intentional. Me and a former best friend who was the project manager on Lit Black Foodie, we had a falling out and disconnected. A friend of 16 years, disconnected. I wouldn't have did that, not at her event, but we can talk about that. And she was the person who was supposed to,
she
move
watching,
forward.
by the way.
Huh?
I said she watching, by the way. She watching this.
Probably, but listen, it's all love now. We passed that, but well, we not friends, but we passed the BS. And she was supposed to get, the funding, and so now I said to myself, if we're gonna do it, we got to do it smart. So I've been connecting with people who have been able to help me with sourcing funds and getting into the right people's ears and eyes, getting in front of all those people who can help us. So my goal is to either give away $2,500 or $1,500 plus like a kitchen prize or package, some type of appliance package or something like that, like a Ninja foodie, a Ninja blender. Like I
Nice.
really want to like have an impact. Like the girl who won last year, she really was thanking me for 6 months out, you know, and in my like like girl, I wish somebody would do it for me, but God keeps doing it for me, right? So as long as God keeps doing it for me, I could keep doing it for people. I'm just happy. Like this is the type of time we all need to be on. That you know, I kind of want to end with that. Like I always say this: I'm not a superhuman. Everything that I'm able to do, we're all able to do in some capacity. You know what I'm saying? So you know, every little bit helps. Every share helps. Every comment, everything. Because just even if you can't give no money, if you share my stuff, you may put me in front of somebody that can help me tremendously, and then that helps the community
Facts.
tremendously. You know,
Right.
so
So I
we
got
just got to with each other.
your link tree up here because I see the official site is coming soon.
Yes, sir.
But this is the link in the bio. You know what I'm saying? You got the Made by K Kitchen YouTube channel. And so what else we got here? Some of the interviews that you did previously. Your
Yeah.
Twitter is Made by K Kitchen too.
Yep.
Also.
Yep. Made by K Kitchen. I have my articles. I know this era, everybody's scamming, but my work speak. I, I'm really who I say I am, and I love that I can show that. So definitely take a look through the articles. And then the GoFundMe is at the bottom. So yeah, so like we listen one day at a time. You
Some
know,
merch here too.
I have a merch
Let's
site.
check out the merch. Let's check out the merch. Okay.
And so we will be updating it to drop with our project we got coming.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So is it just pink because it's pretty, or is there more significance to the colors? Because everything is pink and
Because it's pretty.
Yeah, I told you.
Okay.
I knew it. I called it.
I'm just asking because sometimes
She
people
does
choose
a lot
colors
of pink
for
on her stuff.
different reasons. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I look at her page and I always see a lot of pinks.
I love.
That's why I knew it was for pretty because her page has a pink somewhere.
Not to be all sad or anything, but when I was young, like you know, pink is always the first color to go. Like if something is getting sold out, the pink color for girls is getting sold out 1st. Like, and so I always felt like I would get the ugly colors, like you know the Game Boys, like in the 90s. I wanted a pink one. I got lime green. The dolls, you get the pink. All my friends had pink. Why do I have purple? I don't want purple. I want pink. Like for years, it's like pink is popular, but I don't know if they have to spend more money for pink or kind of be on top of it. But like, come on, like where's my pink? And then look, so like now it's like I for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna do pink right. And so I always like no, I want some pink. You know, I'm a girl. I told my mom I want a pink room. She painted it dark purple. I'm like, what is the problem? Like, can I and I pray I get over this so that when I'm older, I don't live vicariously through my daughter. Like, mom, I'm gonna throw up pink. Like, just ready. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm living out my pink fantasies. You know, right now.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Miss K, you said a lot. Good stuff tonight for sure.
Yeah.
But we're gonna end this in the GodCast fashion like we always do. So we got 2 more questions for you, and I already know you're gonna hit a couple of home runs. So let's get it.
What does freedom mean to Kay?
Living a God-led life and doing what I'm called to do. That's freedom.
Amen.
Okay. Cool. Yep. You already know, Jackson. This is the part where you get put on that Summer Jam screen. Oh, my bad. Wrong button. I gotta put you on the Summer Jam screen real quick. And so Now you have the microphone, you have the bullhorn, and the entire Black community can hear what it is that you have to say. What parting words would you like to leave us with tonight?
Do better by each other. We got to do better with and by each other, because nobody's coming to save us. Only we can save us.
I will take that.
I
will take that.
I'm running it. I'm hoping that some of my family members are tuning in tonight, because it's that
right
let
there.
me tell you something. That right there, because let me just say this. From the moment that you stepped onto the screen, and maybe I'm going to get a little emotional, but everything that you have said, I needed. And again, I'm hoping some of my family members have heard everything that you have said. And this last point that you just made right here is just confirmation for me. I thank you for joining us tonight on the Sincere Love the Godcast. You have been a blessing to my spirit, to my soul. I pray for nothing but greatness in your business, in your personal life, everything, because you deserve it. And again, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. I really, really, I mean this from my soul.
No, I feel it, and I thank y'all. I thank y'all for just being everything you feel. I feel, literally same time, same feeling, and the energy is just strong. So
yeah,
I appreciate y'all.
You're
I love
my
y'all.
soul sister. You're my soul sister now.
Yes.
So definitely, hit us up if you got anything, coming up in the future that you need to plug or anything like that. Definitely hit us up. Let us know you're part of the family now. This is what we do here at Sincere Love the Godcast. Appreciate you letting us get all up in your Black business tonight.
Yes.
And to the family, always got to remind y'all who we are. We are not the master teachers. We are only the master students and signal boosters for Voices of the New Black Media. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us tonight. Everybody have a good night. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious. So I move.